In this video, I'll give you a general overview of the training program. Now, it's very difficult when it comes to trading meme coins to know where to start. There's so many things you need to learn. So let's go through a few of the things you need to learn. First of all, with meme coins, you need to understand exactly what they are. You need to understand how virality occurs when it comes to meme coins. How do they get spread? How do meme coins pump? How do they increase their social followers? So all of the community following, you need to understand how that works. Then you need to understand basics of getting crypto into wallets so you can actually purchase meme coins. So crypto wallets, you need to understand how those work on all of the different blockchains. Then you need to understand how to analyze. So how do you know when it's a good time to buy or sell a meme coin? How do you know the perfect entry and exit prices? How do you know how much of your trading budget you should put towards each meme coin? How do you know how long you should hold the trade? How do you know when you should take profits? All of these things I cover in this comprehensive training, and I cover in a lot of depth. And the next thing you need to know, liquidity pools. What are they? How do they work? Why are they important? How do we avoid scams and rugs? How do we avoid all of these things as we go through? So how do we make sure the collection is safe for us to trade? And then when we're actually trading, how do we trade fast? How do we snipe? How do we use bots to help us get faster trades and get ahead of everybody else? How do we do that? I'm going to show you all of that. And then finally, what are the best trade setups that I use repeatedly? That's going to be the last section of this training, and that's called the playbook. And that's the most important section. And it's very difficult for me to know which order to teach you this in, because when I was learning, I would obviously I've been trading for a very, very long time before this as well. So I brought a lot of my trading skills into this particular niche, but I had to learn everything almost at the same time. So the way I've organized it, I've explained meme coins early on, and then we talk about wallets and wallet kind of setup as well. Then we go to analysis. We discuss how to pick up followers, how to monitor, how to read Telegram groups, stuff like that. And then further down into the course, we discuss general analysis tips, but then we get a little bit more specific. I start showing you how to set up bots and how to snipe. And then we look at the pools as well, so you fully understand this. And then we slowly come towards the playbook, which is my wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3 strategies. And you don't technically need to go through the entire program to be able to trade, but it really does help if you go through it once and have a good idea and everything. Even if some of it didn't register with you, it makes sense. Just skim it, and maybe some of it you'll remember, some you won't. But then you can slowly start coming back to areas where you're not sure. You can come back to the bot tutorials, or if you then want to trade on Solana, but then you want to go to Injective or you want to go to Avalanche, you can come back to the wallet tutorials. If you're not sure your analysis is right or your trade setup's not right, you can come back to the analysis sections, where we also discuss trading psychology as well, because that's very important. So like I said, it's not in any particular order. It's just the order in which I think it might be best for you to learn. And really, you need to understand meme coins. Even if you've been trading meme coins for a while, you should still watch that video, because you'd be surprised how narratives work and suddenly take off. And if you can understand this stuff, then you might miss the first meme in a narrative that pops off. You've missed that one, no problem. But the secondary ones that are related to that launched the day or two after, you'll be all over those and you'll be fully ready. And you know there's going to be volume in those because of the narrative. Again, this might not be making much sense to you now, but don't worry. But the most important one I come back to is the playbook. These are literally the strategies you will use to make consistent profits when it comes to meme coin trading. And I wouldn't call it easy or anything. There's a lot to learn. It is difficult to understand the concepts, but honestly, once you get it, actually kind of isn't that hard, believe it or not, because I think it's probably because a lot of people just don't know about it. But some of the setups you see on some of the charts, they do seem easy once you see the same thing again and again. And then you can load up slightly bigger positions in these as well, always managing your risk, of course. So that's it for this one. We're going to start with understanding memes and take it from there.